So we'll start with the quick prayer. Thank you, Divyanshi Prabhu, for joining. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri-rupam sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam tam sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Wonderful. So thank you for joining. I will go ahead and share the screen also here. Remind me the verse. We are on 11th.
We are on
15th,
15th we covered.
15th. Okay,
Yeah,
beautiful.
16th and 18th.
Okay, wonderful.
Page 41.
Wonderful. Thank you, Prabhu. So last week, just to connect the dots between the last week and this week. So last week we were emphasizing between the deity and stone. We were discussing about that thing. I was just hearing this beautiful katha this morning, and there was a wonderful pastime came, and I thought I want to start with that one. So this is in Jagannath Puri. How many of us have been to Jagannath Puri? Have you seen Jagannath Puri? So Jagannath Puri is the dham. Let me bring this. Yeah. Okay. Let me start with this thing, and then we will come to this thing. This point. So we were talking about the war incarnation where Lord actually saved the Mother Earth few weeks back, 2 weeks or 3 weeks back. We were just talking about it. And then when Lord was taking Mother Bhumi, Bhumi is actually the wife of Lord Vishnu. And that's how she does so many compassionate activities for us. She bears so much, she has so much of forbearance. So she asked, my Lord, you are taking me, but everything rests on earth, right? Everything rests on me. Now everything is in the water now. Where will you put me? So the Lord says, Varadev says, when you see the trees, you let me know, I'll drop you there. I'll put you there. She like, how can tree be there? If I'm not there, how can tree be there? And then while she's speaking, she just finished and she saw trees, wonderful trees. And she was amazed. How is that possible? The trees are standing without the earth because she is in the ocean now and everything is inundated with water. So Varadev says this is Vrindavan. Vrindavan, whenever everything is destroyed, Vrindavan is not destroyed. Similar thing is with Jagannath Puri. So there are two kind of destruction which happens. One is a kalpa change. So like Satya Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Kali Yuga. After Kali Yuga, everything is destroyed and again recreated like that. And then I forgot the other term, which is again after 12 years or something like that, a complete devastation. So during that time, what happens is all of us jiva who did not perfect our life. For an example, we don't attain spiritual world. And I'll just share that sometime. Maybe I'll just bring a picture or something like that. It's a very beautiful picture. Where is spiritual world? Where is material world? So we enter into the body of Lord Vishnu. So we have pores here where we have hairs, right? The jivas enter there of Lord Vishnu's body. We all enter there. And when the creation again happened, Lord excelled, and we come out of it and we take the birth in different species, different planets, because there are unlimited planets and there are unlimited universe. We just know there is one universe, but there are unlimited universes like that. So Jagannath Puri and all that, these dams, special dams. One second. Prabhuji, in the class, I'm just doing it up. Is that okay? Okay, okay. ठीक है, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. So, Vrindavan stays, Jagannath Puri stays. So, Jagannath Puri, there is this devotee whose name is Dasya Bauri. I'll send you pictures also maybe after this thing. Very powerful devotee. He's a very low caste devotee, very poor, has no position. So during earlier times, there used to be a bartering system. There was no concept of money there. Everyone will just have, one guy will produce something, this guy will produce something, and they will exchange. So he used to make saris with the hand, silk saris. It would take 3 months for him to make one sari. Very beautiful saris he used to make. So his livelihood on, he will make one sari every 3 months. He will sell, run his livelihood until his next sari is made. He was a very wonderful devotee of Lord Jagannath. So he made this sari and he was going and he saw beautiful coconuts. And he had a desire, I want to offer these coconuts to Lord Jagannath. So he came to coconut guy saying that, oh, you know what? I need these coconuts. And his eye went on the sari. He said, yeah, you give me that sari and I'll give you coconut. He said, my whole existence on that. If I give you this for small coconut, my family will not eat for 3 months until I make another sari. Please understand, coconut guy says, either you are giving me this or I don't want to give you coconut. He decided, I want to offer this coconut to Jagannath. For that, even if I have to beg for 3 months, I don't get anything, I'll do that. So he takes the coconut from the guy and he comes near Lord Jagannath's temple. And if you know, in Lord Jagannath's temple, there is a restriction. Not everyone can enter in the temple. So they have a kind of a caste where there are lower class people, they are not allowed to enter, and no foreigners allowed. So even a lot of times Indian goes come here and then if their kid look like American, he won't be able to or she won't be able to go in. That's how their concept is. Because and I'll tell you about that also. Lord Jagannath came to the dream of a pujari. He said Lord Jagannath will run behind the devotee and he will move to Russia. Russia name came from Rishis. It's a very pious place. Now, whatever is happening, it's a different story. Like in Bharatvarsh, it's considered to be very spiritual, but there is so much chaos going on. A lot of things, right? So that's why they said no foreigner devotees allowed. So at the time, even those, the low class devotees were not allowed. And between the Lord Jagannath's Garbhagriha, where Lord Jagannath's deities are, till outside, it's like almost, you can say, 1 kilometer distance. It's a good distance. Now he's not allowed and he's holding the coconut outside the door. My lord, I've got the coconut for you. Please take it. What happened? Whoever devotees are outside, they could see, but not the pujaris at the time. Lord Jagannath's hand came from inside, took the coconut. Next day, when pujaris went to the altar, what they saw were coconut pieces and the pulp inside the coconut was gone. They were like, we didn't offer coconut yesterday. They were discussing who offered coconut. We didn't know. Where is this coconut coming from? So the news spread, and these guys got to know, oh, there is this person who's a very low class person. He offered coconut from outside. Lord Jagannath took. They said, no, no, that's not possible. We want to find it out. Mango season came. And now this time, he wanted to offer fresh mangoes from the orchard. So Nasibori again got the mangoes. My lord, I got these mangoes for you. Please take it. And pujaris were outside at that time. What is this guy? They saw Lord Jagannath's hand coming out, taking all the mangoes. They went inside. Lord ate all the mangoes, kept pulp and whatever the seed he just threw away on the temple. They were like, wow, what a devotion this person is. Low class person, but Lord himself is coming for that person. That's a difference between an eye of a pure devotee versus an eye of a regular person. So when we come in front of the temple, A person who has, there is a Brahma Samhita actually written by Lord Brahma in glorification of Lord Vishnu. He says, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Tribangala. I forgot the last thing. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Meaning of this beautiful verse is a person or devotee whose eyes are anointed, like we put surma, what do you call it, as mascara, is that right? The devotee's eyes who's anointed with the love of mascara of God will see the Lord. So that's the beauty about that thing. This is Brahmaji glorifying that stuff. So devotees, pure devotees are personified, who have purified their heart, they can see the Lord themselves. Like one time, every year during Kartik month, which comes around October, November during Diwali, we go to holy places. Before coming here, I used to go every year, but then after here, my wife's health and all support, and now last 3 years, I'm trying to go. So we went to Vrindavan, and we were around 10,000, 8,000 devotees hearing katha. And my spiritual master was saying, where we are sitting now, Krishna and Balram are herding the cows here. Like, we can't see where they are, right? He said, because our eyes are covered with material energy, we are so engrossed on the bodily concept, we can't see that. Like another time, Prabhupada, these disciples of Prabhupada in America, these were all white people. They said, we want to invite a lot of people. So they booked a hall, big hall in New York. And then they did marketing and all that stuff, told everyone, this is where the class is going to happen, what time class is going to happen. And finally the day and time came. There were hardly anyone in the whole hall. There were a few devotees sitting, and Prabhupada spoke like their hall is filled with millions of people. He spoke with such an enthusiasm. And then devotees were happy, but at the same time, towards the end, they were feeling, oh, we booked this time and there is no one here. So we wanted to beg apologies to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, we are sorry, we wanted to invite you for this big hall. We were thinking that a lot of people will come, but I'm sorry, not many people turned around. Prabhupada said, really? You didn't see? They said, what? They said, Narada Muni was there. You didn't see him? Brahmaji was there. You didn't see him? They were there to listen to this katha. Like we were discussing last week, whenever Lord Ram's katha is there, Hanuman is there. Irrelevant of where the katha is happening, Hanuman is sitting there hearing because he is so attached to Ram Lila. Same way here, Narada Muni, he travels different planets. And he said, oh, I saw them, they were there, but devotees couldn't see. Oh, where are they? Right? So that's what we really need. And that's what I just want to connect with that one. Coming back to that, we will read text 16 and 18. There are three verses we are going to read. Ananta Vijayam Raja
Ananta Vijayam Raja
Kunti Putro Yudhishtharaha
Kunti Putro Yudhishthiraha
Nakulaha Sahadevascha
Nakulaha Sahadevascha
Sugoshamani Pushpakau
Sugoshmani Pushpakam
Kashyascha Parameshwasaha
Kashyasya Parameshwasa
Shikhandi cha Maharatha
Shikhandi cha Maharataha
Drishtradumno Viratascha
Drushtadimno Viratascha
Satyaki cha Parajitaha
Satyatischa Parajitaha
Drupado Draupadeyascha
Drupado Draupadeyascha
Sarvasa Prithvipate
Sarvasha Pratvipate
Saubhadrascha Mahabaho
Saubhadrascha Mahabaho
Shankhan Dadmuhu Prathak Prathak.
Shankhandan Prathak Prathak
So first Bhishma blew his conch shell, then the Kauravas, then this side Krishna, Yudhishthir, sorry, Arjuna, and Bhima. Right? Now other on the side of Pandavas are blowing the conch, and first Yudhishthir, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell. The Ananta Vijaya and Nakula and Sahdev blew their Sugosha and Mani Pushpaka. See, this is very wonderful culture. Everything has a name. You see, even the conch shell has a name. Very interesting, right? Earlier times, not earlier times, actually, Krishna had millions of cows, and every cow had a name. Can you imagine? And when evening would happen, right? Because they all go for herding, Krishna and playing with the gopas. Now it's time to go. So Krishna plays the flute, and everyone comes. After playing the flute, he calls everyone's name. Please come. Right? We were just talking about today's modern culture. We'd say resources. We don't call people by person, even seeing that, oh, you know what, hi all, or whatever it is. It's just so impersonal. Here, Krishna is telling this idea everything is in person. I was just thinking about this thing. When we are small, we are taught don't hit anything with the feet. Respect everything. Other than the shoes, and shoes also you respect, but you don't, you want to close the door, don't put it with the feet, you do it with the hand. You know why is that? It's offering respect, though it's this is material, it's door doesn't have soul, but it's bringing that consciousness that deal with everything in the material world with attention and respect. A lot of times when you come to the temple, especially when came to the ISKCON temple, so devotees offer obeisances to each other. Obeisances means offering pranam by bowing down. One of the prayer when I was reciting in the beginning is Vancha Kalpatrubhasa, which is I'm offering my respects at all of your feet. That is how the respect is. So whom do we offer respect to? We don't offer respect to the body. There is Paramatma within everyone's heart, and we offer that respect to Paramatma. There is another story. I'll just spell this out and then we can jump on this. So there were Gaurnatai deities in one of the village. So they used to take, during olden times they used to take the deities on the road and they will do parikrama and then they will dance and do that in the evening. Nowadays we are so tired in the evening, forget about anything else. We just caught up in so many things. So one time they found a donkey. You know who the donkey is, the ass, right? And then they said, okay, we will find a nice horse and all that stuff, so we will take Lord on the back of this donkey. So they decorated the donkey very nicely and they put the deities, and this donkey was going and everyone was offering obeisances. So this donkey had a realization, wow, I'm so great, these people are offering me respect, amazing. So he was enjoying within, oh, look at me, how many people are offering respects to me. The deities reached to the destination and they took the deities out, and then whoever was renting, they said, oh, you know, this is your money. So the owner came and he started hitting the donkey. Hey, chalo, like that, chalo. You're like, hey, you were offering me, the same guy was offering respect when he, what are you doing? Why are you hitting me? So this is a concept. What happens is when someone offer obeisances, oh, look at me, thousands of people are offering obeisances. Hold on. They are not offering respects to you. They are offering the respect to the deities. Same way when we offer obeisances to each other, they are not offering to this body. They are not offering this to our ego. They are offering it to our soul. Right? So everything in the context of the culture has a name. The great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter Shikhandi. We spoke about Shikhandi, you remember, right? Wonderful. Drishtadumna, Virat and the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupad and the son of Draupadi, and others, O kings such as mighty son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shell. By the way, if I don't know if I mentioned it, so Subhadra is the sister of Krishna and Balram, and she's also the wife of Arjuna. You all know about that, and you know how she got married to him, right? Okay, I'll tell. It's nice to discuss these because this is the culture. So one time, Arjuna was in love with Subhadra. He wanted to get married to her, but Balram wanted to give Subhadra's hand to Duryodhana because I told mention saying that, oh, you know, that was his favorite. He was his favorite. So, but she was in love with Arjuna as well, so she didn't want to go. So what had happened is one time, let me recollect. This is a very beautiful pastime, but I'm not mixing up. I just want to make sure. So Arjuna came in a disguise as a Brahmana to Dwarka. And he was being offered respect and all that stuff because Brahmanas are very well respected. And then during the night in the evening, what he did, he took Subhadra Maya and ran away from there. And Balram became very angry. How could you do that? But Krishna knew what is going on. Krishna wanted her to get married to Arjuna because Arjuna is favorite of Krishna. So this is what is happening. So he kidnapped Subhadra, and Balramji ran after. Krishna said, "See, what is your point in my opinion? At the end of the day, they both like each other. Why we want to enter?" Balram said, "Okay." So that's how it happened, and Subhadra got married to Arjuna. And now all of them, even son of Subhadra, they are in the war field, ready to fight. Sanjay is informing King Dhritarashtra very tactfully that unwise policy of deceiving the sons of Pandu and endeavoring to enthrone his own sons on the seat of kingdom was not very laudable. This sign already clearly indicated that the whole Kuru dynasty would be killed in the great battle, beginning with grandsire Bhishma down to the grandson like Abhimanyu and others. Interesting. It's already being predicted. Including kings from many sides of the world, all were present there and all were doomed. This is the biggest world war which happened in the history. The whole catastrophe was due to the king Dhritarashtra because he encouraged the policy followed by his sons. Any questions or comments? Okay, beautiful, straightforward. Verse 19. Sagosho Drishtarashtanam.
सघोषोधार्तराष्ट्राणाम्
Dhartarashtanam. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Please feel free to correct me. Hridayani Vedarayat.
हृदयानि व्यदारय
Nabhascha Prithvim Chaiva.
नभश्च पृथिवीं चैव
Tumulo Abanunadayam.
तुमूलोऽभ्यनुनादयन्
Thank you. The blowing of these different conch shell became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on earth. It shattered the hearts of son of Dhritarashtra. So the enemy, how it works, let me tell you another story. And then we will come to this point. So this is the allegoric story which is mentioned in Jaimini Bharat, I guess, not in Mahabharat, but Jaimini Bharat. So one time Krishna and Balram they went to the forest. When they went to the forest, they were playing and they were tired. So Balramji said, Krishna, let's take turn. You sleep, I will protect. And then after some time, you wake up and then I will sleep. So they decided. So Krishna went to sleep and Balram was guarding. At that time, a huge demon came. A huge demon came and then he roared. And Balram got scared. The moment Balram got scared, whatever his height, that became half. And then again this guy roared. And Balramji again got feared. He became small. And then again he rode, he became very small because he was feared with this big demon. Again, that's from an allegoric perspective, however, the actual thing. Balramji cannot be feared by a demon. So Krishna woke up by this time and he was yawning and he saw this big demon. This demon looked at Krishna and he roared. Krishna was like, it feel like Krishna did not even hear. This guy roared so heavily. The moment Krishna did not fear, the size of the demon become half. And this guy was shocked, what is happening? And again he roared. Krishna was, where is Balram? He was looking. He didn't even realize that this guy is standing there, he just saw him. So it happened what couple of times he roared, he became the size of like a mustard seed. Krishna took him and put it in the pocket, this demon, because now it's so small. And then he woke up Balram. Balram woke up, he came to his original size. And then by Krishna's blessing, and then he said, what happened? He said, oh, there was that demon, this is what had happened. So Krishna removed. Is this the guy? Oh, yeah, what happened to him? And Krishna told a beautiful lesson there. When there are difficulties coming, when you give importance or when you think they are really big, you size and you will find yourself incapable to handle those difficulties. The difficulties gain in their size and you lose in the size. But when you become courageous to face difficulties in your life, the problems become small because you gain energy to fail that. And this is what is happening. Though Pandava side army is less than half compared to 11 and 6, 5 and 11, right? Akshay and Sena. But the way they were uproaring. Oh, Duryodhana double the size was, oh, what is happening? I thought this is half of the size. But based on the conch shell, it looks like there are millions of soldiers on the other side. This is the power. So it's very important to understand how to face difficulties in our life. And this is the idea. And this is what spirituality gives you. What spirituality gives you? Spirituality does not guarantee you that, like for example, COVID, lot of millions of people dead, lakhs of people died, right? Not that the devotees did not die, they also left. Spirituality does not offer you immortality. Spirituality offers you an immortality at the soul platform. What is the immortality at the soul platform? You know how to bear that problem, and you cross over that stage. In my personal life, my kids, my guru, and I was just shocked. This is when the doctor said, oh, this is the day we will try to unplug. She's on ventilator, and I just went to ICU. One of my friend is in ICU. And when I just entered an ICU, I just had my old memories coming up, and I was just remembering that. So they said, we will unplug her from ventilator, maybe 2 minutes or 5 minutes, we don't know. So that's the time you call all of your relatives and friends. So I called our temple president. He immediately drove from here. 200 devotees drove from here, but this is 2 hours and 15 minutes. And that day was like really cold, and it was raining also in between. So they were driving. My kids were fortunately there in Grand Rapids. And then I asked those devotees where they were staying to, bring them and all that stuff. So they were there. And now there is a concept of the law of last thought. I shared it some time back. What you remember at last minute, even if you are very close to your destiny, you may be traveling, you may be moving to another place rather than this place based on the last thought you have. So I decided I'm not going to show my face to her, and I'm not going to let my kids, or her mother was also there. She traveled from India. She was here for 1 week or 2 weeks before she left. So we all decided, we had a calendar. We have this beautiful calendar. It's not there in the room, but I'll find out and I'll give it to you. So I took that calendar, and it has beautiful picture and then the dates and all that stuff. So I removed all the pictures, gave it to everyone, put it on your face. She should only see the deities. She should not see anyone's face, because then if she remembers and if she leaves at that time, again, this is material calculation, but Krishna has a plan. So when our kids came, so our temple president, he said, I like Kirtan singing, but he said, Prabhu, if you ask me, you shouldn't be in front of her or none of her family members. Okay. So we were behind her. There were a lot of devotees, 200 devotees in a room. So we were behind her. So when she came to consciousness, because she was on ventilator, and if you know what happens is, if you don't open your eyes, they bulge, right? You can't see things. So somehow she opened her eyes and she was seeing devotees there and all that stuff, and they were doing kirtan. She woke up during the kirtan. And then our kids, this is last minute, she's leaving. And it's a very big even how she left, but none of us came in front of us. Forget about me, I'm like 45, 42 at the time, whatever it is. But kids were small. They're like 3 years smaller than what they are. So my young and elder one is 14. So she was 11. They didn't come. And when after a couple of days, what do you think about this thing? They said, we are happy Krishna took her back to spiritual world rather than how she was suffering. And I was amazed at such a young age, they have this realization. This is the mercy of Krishna. This is what, so coming back to the point, which is what it offers us, that consciousness, how to handle the problems will come irrelevant of whoever we are. Bhishma, Pandavas, you see tons of problem, but every time, whenever they are in problem, whom they are looking for? Krishna. What is Kunti Maharani's prayers? We will read Bhagavatam after Bhagavad Gita. She says, better to put me in difficulty, because when you put me in difficulty, I always remember you. Please give us whole life, give us difficulty. None of us can ever think about saying this to Lord, pray that, give me difficulty. One problem comes, one health issue comes, we just get so disturbed. And imagine she's saying, my life, you just give me difficulty. From the day she is born, whole life you see Kunti Maharani. Oh my goodness, such a powerful soul, such an elevated soul. Whole life is difficulty. Sometimes when you are in a problem lasts for one day, 1 month, 1 year. But the more longer it is, becomes difficult to cope up with that. It's very difficult. So here when he is hearing son of Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, are there are millions of people, because now he is feared. So his appetite to handle has reduced. Right? It's the same verse. We will read the next verse, text 20. Atha vyavasthasthitang drishtva
व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा
Dhritarashtraन् kapidvajaha
राष्ट्रान् कपीध्वजः
प्रवर्ते शस्त्र संपाते
प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते
उद्यम्य पांडवा sorry
धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः
ऋषिकेशां तदा वाक्यम्
ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यम्
idam aha mahipate.
इदम् आह महीपते.
Anyone can read the translation?
At that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words.
This is the climax words. This is the climax verse. This is going to change everything just after this verse. And we already covered about Hanuman, if you remember. There is another pastime. Hanuman is a Vayuputra, we know about all that stuff. Bhima is also Vayuputra. I'll tell you another story. Did I share? I don't think so. I shared the story. So one time Pandavas went, excuse me, forest. So many aspects of going to the forest. But when they went there, Draupadi saw a beautiful lotus flower growing on the mountain. So she requested Bhima, why don't you get the lotus flower for me? I want to offer it to Yudhishthira Maharaj. He said, yeah, as you ask. So he goes there. When he is there, he sees in the lake there is this beautiful lotus. He sees a monkey lying on the road to go there. And then again, the point of respect. He says, please move, I have to go there because I can't cross over you. You know that even in the childhood, whenever we say we don't cross over, this culture. Why is that? Again, Paramatma. We don't cross over Paramatma in everyone's heart. So we say, oh, please move, I want to go. So he asked this monkey, can you move? I'm too tired. Why don't you move my tail and you can go after that? Hanuman like, okay, what's such a big deal for me? And started lifting the tail and he couldn't do it. He's trying to lift, he can't lift it. Who is this personality? People like me can't take care of him. He offers his obeisances. Please reveal your identity. Who are you? And he's sure I'm Hanuman. And I came here. We are brothers. We are son of Vayu. So I'm here to come to meet you. Well, how come you are here? He said, Pandu, the Bhishma says, oh, sorry. Bhima says, why are you here? Then he says, oh, you know what? There is going to be a war happening. And I'm always on the side of Krishna, and Krishna is going to be on the side of Arjuna. So I'm going to enter in the flag to show the victory. And that's how Hanuman enters there. And this is the whole pastime. So this is where Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport, the battle was just about to begin. It is understood from the above statement that the sons of the were more or less disheartened by the unexpected arrangement of military force by Pandavas, who were guided by the direction or direct instruction of Lord Krishna on the battlefield. The emblem of Hanuman on the flag of Arjuna is another sign of victory because Hanuman cooperated with Lord Ram in the battle between Ram and Ravan. And Lord Ram emerged victorious. Now, both Ram and Hanuman were present on the chariot to Arjuna. Who is Ram here? Lord Krishna. He has to be there. Lord Krishna is Rama himself, and wherever Lord Ram is his eternal servitor Hanuman and his eternal consort Sita, the goddess of fortune, are present. Therefore, Arjuna had no cause to fear any enemies whatsoever. And above all, the Lord of the senses, which is named Rishikesha, Lord Krishna was personally present to give him direction. Thus, all good counsel was available to Arjuna in the matter of executing the battle. In such auspicious condition, arranged by the Lord for his eternal devotee, lay the signs of assured victory. We will read the next verse 21 and 22. This is the first verse where Arjuna is speaking. Who is speaking so far?
Sanjay.
Yes, thank you. You are with me and happy. We want to make sure we all are aligned. So now this is first verse Arjuna Vacha
Arjuna Vacha
Senayorubayor Madhye
Senayorvayorमध्ये
Ratham Sthapayame Chuta
रथं स्थापयामि च्युत
Yavad Eta Niriksheham
यावत् एतान्निरीक्षेऽहं
Yodu Kaman Avasthita
योद्धुकामान् अवस्थितान्
Kairmaya Saha Yodavyam
कैर्मार्या सह योद्धव्यम्
Asmin Rana Samudyame.
अस्मिन्द्राणासमुद्यमे.
Translation, please.
I can read.
Please, Prabhu.
Arjuna said, O infallible one,
Hmm.
please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms.
Beautiful. Thank you, bro. Very interesting. Krishna is not directly being referred as Krishna. He says, Arjuna is saying, oh, infallible one. This is very interesting term. So there is a meaning. There is a deeper meaning, and this is why we need acharyas. We may read, it's good to read, but we need to understand the context. So what is the role of Krishna here? A chariot driver, which means in today's context, Uber driver or Lyft driver, right? But he's Krishna. What is the difference between us and Krishna? We spoke about that last week. We are fallible. What does fallible mean? Today, my name is, huh?
Who makes mistakes?
Who makes mistakes? And ultimately, we all get destroyed. At least the body. When I say we, I'm saying in the context of we lose our material identity and we pick up another identity in our next birth. That's how. So we lose. Krishna is not like that. He's not fallible. Though he's playing the role of a driver, he is still supreme personality of Godhead. Am I making sense so far? Sometimes, like a country goes to his house and becomes like a horse, and the son is on his back riding, does not mean he did not become a president. Am I making sense so far? He is acting that role. Of course, in material world, this is just an example to compare, but it's not that he is immortal, right? We all are mortal. We have to die one day. At least from the body perspective, we have to lose our identity. So here, Krishna, he doesn't have to take birth. He doesn't have to die. A lot of people, I had my friend in my, when I used to live in Philadelphia before moving here. And I had one friend. Oh, he said, even Krishna died. I'm like, okay, how did he die? Oh, there was a hunter who threw the arrow, and then with that, Krishna died. I'm like, oh, really? Krishna also dies that way? There's a very beautiful aspect. So Srimad Bhagavatam explains in detail because these things have to be cleared up. Unless we not differentiate between God and us, we will not be able to take up spiritual life because we think, oh, how he's going to help me? He himself died. How is he going to help me when I'm in difficulty? This is very important. There are two aspects, and some people say one aspect second, but I'll bring in the second aspect. Let's talk the second aspect first. You know Brigumani?
Heard, but I
Huh, no problem. Lord Brahma's son is Lord Shiva, Narada, and Brigumani. And there are many other four Kumaras are there. That's why there is one of the sampradaya called as Kumar Sampradaya. I owe you. I'll send you the diagram. What are the four sampradayas which I couldn't spell?
aren't those Kumars supposed to be like Vedas for Vedas?
No, those four Vedas are different. Four Kumaras are Lord Brahma's son. And if you remember all the story that they enter to Vankutha, Jai Vijay stopped them,
Right.
and they cursed them to take three birds, and then so these are the four sons of Brahman. So let me add little more context there. So Lord Brahma was given the responsibility, and he's the creator. So Lord says, Lord Vishnu, first person who is born, and where is Brahmaji born? He is born from the navel of Lord Vishnu. Are, what is that? Brahmaji is not born regular like any of us. Imagine, he's a first being and he's our great, great, great grandfather. He created all of us. So Brahmaji was told, Lord Vishnu, you procreate. So the first child which was born were four Kumaras. These four Kumaras, they said, we have nothing to do with this. We are just going and doing meditation. We are not getting into all this stuff. Lord Brahma became angry. And Lord Brahma became angry from his head. So that's from his head, Shiva came. Rudra came. And there are 12 Rudras. If you remember that part, we just had Shivratri last Tuesday. We were discussing about this in our Katha. So Lord Shiva was born. And whatever Brahma little bit created, he started destroying everything. Arey, what are you doing, man? Like mushkil se like a lot of times kids make the Legos and someone comes and touches. Arey, I spend my days and days. So this is what Brahmaji is happening. Not like our Legos, but arey, whatever I no. So where he said, what do I do then? Okay, you are in charge of destruction. That's why there are three devatas. Brahma is the creator, Lord Shiva is a destroyer. Whenever this I was mentioning about the destruction has to happen for entire cosmic manifestation, Lord Shiva opens his third eye. Right? That's the time. He dances. This dance is also called with a specific name. Anybody remember?
Dance. What's
The
that?
name of the dance when Lord Shiva. Tanda. Tando. Correct. Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for sharing that. Yes. He dances and that's the time. So coming back to this, Bhrigu Muni. So Bhrigu Muni is son of Lord Brahma. One time all the rishis were there, asked Bhrigu Muni, who is greatest, Brahma, Vishnu, or Mahesh? So we don't know. Can you figure that out for us? Bhrigu Muni said, okay, I take the responsibility. And Bhrigu Muni can travel in other planetary system. So first thing he came to Brahmaji. He's a father. Now traditionally, when we go in front of the father we meet, we offer respect. We bow down. This guy entered, just stood there like a statue. Brahmaji is so happy. Oh, my son, you are here. He's just looking like that. He's just ignoring Lord Brahma. You don't have, I'm your father. Don't you know how to respect me? He became angry. And he was about to punch Bhrigu Muni, but he then saw he's my son, forget it. But Bhrigu Muni sensed the anger in Lord Brahma. So what did he do? Whoever cannot control his anger, he cannot be Supreme Lord. Okay, so he came to Lord Shiva, came from a distance. Now, who is Lord Shiva? His brother. We mentioned about it, right? So Bhrigu Muni came to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva seeing brother, oh my brother, please come. I'm seeing you after a long time. Hey, what are you wearing? Snakes and all this stuff. All the ashes on your body. Please don't come in front of me. And then he started speaking bad words about Lord Shiva. Where do you live and all that stuff? So Lord Shiva became angry. And he was about to open his third eye and do Tanda. Parvati stop. Hey, he's your brother. What are you? Please calm down. So he calmed down. But Bhrigu understood, Lord Shiva angered. He couldn't control his anger. He's not the third one. He came to Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu is being massaged by Mother Lakshmi. And on the Ananta Shesha, he comes, directly hits on the chest of Lord Vishnu with the feet. We were just mentioning about the feet. We should never use feet even to actually close the door. He hit the chest of the Lord of Vishnu. You know what Lord Vishnu said? Lord Vishnu bowed down. He said, my Lord, my chest is so hard, your feet are so soft. Please forgive me, let me massage your feet. They must be, they got hurt because of this guy. Blunt, he did not know what to say. He started crying. What is happening? This is such, what did I do? So Lord Vishnu did not take an offense, but Mother Lakshmi took an offense because wife, my husband, he is Lord Vishnu. How can you do like that? What is the role of Mother Lakshmi in spiritual world? Do you know that? She sweeps the floor. Now one may say, "Are dust hota hai kya udhar banquet log?" No, she wants to serve, and we want to master here in the material. I want to be the boss, but what is Lakshmi Devi doing there? I want to be the servant. We have to understand these technicalities about that mindset one has to bring to accept spirituality. I'm not the master. I'm a servant. So Mother Lakshmi took an offense. So she did tapasya. Because He offended Lord Vishnu, but Lord Vishnu did not take an offense. So he is, if you offend someone, he does not take an offense, you don't get a reaction. But Mother Lakshmi felt, oh, he did not do it right. So this, what is the name? I forgot. Brigumani. Thank you. So sometimes I have a problem with the names. Brigumani appeared as a hunter in Lord Krishna's Leela, who threw the arrow. And then when he saw the feet of Krishna hit by the arrow, he bowed down, my Lord, what have I done? Krishna said, don't worry. This was all my arrangement. My earthly pastimes are over. I need to go back now. You are the same Bhrigu who was, because of this punishment, you became a hunter. Now it's time for you also to leave. And that's how Krishna leaves. This is very important. We have to understand that aspect to actually understand Krishna's position and infallible. That's what I was mentioning about this. Like Arjuna is telling Krishna, please take my chariot between the two armies, and I want to see who are the other side waiting to fight and whom I'm going to fight. So the purpose of Kshatriya dharma, or whenever you get into fight, is to now calculate. That's the first aspect. How powerful is the opposite army, and based on strategies differ, right? Like for an example, when we buy a product, then integration and all this stuff, we have different strategies. So that's what Arjuna is telling Krishna to take his chariot, excuse me, to the this thing. So Prabhupada explains, although Lord Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, out of his causeless mercy, he was engaged in the service of his friend. He never fails in his affection for his devotees, and thus his address here is infallible. A charioteer, he had to carry out the orders of Arjuna, and since he did not hesitate to do so, he is addressed as infallible. His name is Achyuta. Although he had accepted the position of charioteer for his devotee, his supreme position was not challenged. We discussed that. In all circumstances, he is the supreme personality of Godhead Rishikesha, the Lord of the total senses. The relationship between the Lord and his servitor is very sweet and transcendental. The servitor is always ready to render service to the Lord, and similarly, the Lord is always seeking an opportunity to render service to the devotee. One time, Lord Chaitanya came to South India, in Sri Rangam specifically. Have you been to Sri Rangam? Any of us?
I am.
Beautiful temple, a very wonderful gopuram. We go such a like 10, 15 floor, so many gates. So in that Sri Rangam Mandir temple, there was a Brahmana. He was an illiterate Brahmana. And Lord Chaitanya came to visit Sri Rangam Mandir. When he came there, so when he was reading Bhagavad Gita, he was reading upside down. So other Brahmanas all making fun of him. Are this guy, what is he reading? Every day he would read. Lord Chaitanya said, my dear sir, what are you doing? My spiritual master said, you daily read Bhagavad Gita, whole Bhagavad Gita, so I do that. But your pronunciation doesn't. He said, I'm an illiterate. Then how come you're reading Bhagavad Gita? He said, my spiritual master said, I want to follow his instruction. Okay, but I see tears are flowing from your eyes like a river. You don't understand, you don't read. What makes you this so attached to Bhagavad Gita? He says, when I see this position of Krishna as a chariot driver, when I just imagine that Lord is a Bhakta Vatsala, that expression of love of Krishna is making me feel how great is my Lord. Lord Chaitanya became very happy. He showered blessings on me. You understood Bhagavad Gita well. Can you imagine an illiterate who doesn't know read Bhagavad Gita? But what is the mood of Bhagavad Gita? Ultimately, we have to develop love for God. If we cannot develop love for God and I use Bhagavad Gita to become intellectual, waste of time. Completely waste of time. Lot of times, I remember when you go to like Tirumalai temple or when you go to Vaishno Devi and all this, you days and days, earlier times, used to walk and reach there. And after you reach there, you just attend 1 second darshan and you feel, oh, I'm tired, I'm this, I'm that, and all that stuff. Why did I do my effort? Ultimately, when I see one glance of my Lord, I should become ecstatic. And I have put so much of effort and I can't understand. So that's why Bhagavad Gita cannot be understood by intellectual. It has to be learned by heart. We have to experience what is happening here. We have to get into the shoes of Arjuna. And that's the mood we have to follow to understand Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna's problems are non-different from us. The moment we understand that, we understood Bhagavad Gita. Because now, like a patient, when he goes to the doctor, half of the job is done based on the faith. You know Ayurveda, how Ayurveda works. We all know. When you go to the doctor, the first thing you need is a faith on that doctor. If you don't have the faith, this Ayurveda medicine will not work. Imagine so subtle it is. So same way, when you don't approach Bhagavad Gita with faith, it will not penetrate. You will not understand what Arjuna is going through. Why is he crying? Like which I want to mention. When Arjuna's son, he was dead, you know Abhimanyu, right? What happened to Abhimanyu? That's the most cruel death I have ever observed. I remember when I watched Mahabharata for days and days, I couldn't stop crying because such a such a painful death. And that's like, are he's son of Arjuna. What is happening? What is Krishna doing here? Because I didn't understand this philosophy. What is happening here? I'm like, oh, if I take spirituality, then I'm protected. I'm be immortal. No, that's not the point of bhakti. So whatever is happening, Abhimanyu left. And when I read Bhagavad Gita, that one should not be crying for the leaving body. And Arjuna starts crying. I had this question. Are hold on. Arjuna ने पूरा Bhagavad Gita सुना. He heard the whole. Why is he crying now for his son? And I understood the answer. When I heard this answer, I was just very touched. When you understand the science of soul, that your heart becomes stone. Your heart should become like a butter. Am I making sense so far? We shouldn't be hard-hearted about others' feeling. We should still be soft like a butter, but we understand this is the reality of life. Keeping both these spectrum is very difficult. And understanding, we don't go this side or that side. It's very difficult when our loved ones leave in front of us and then I can't see them. Death is such a cruel fact, I'll tell you. I did not understand it until I personally experienced it. When you realize that person is dead, you can never see that person. Everything you can reverse in life. Your health is bad, you can work on medicine, doctors, and all that stuff. Person is dead means dead. Your relationship is dead, but you can't accept it. A lot of times people die. I've seen many people actually. One of a neighbor, like my back in like my hometown, husband died. Within a week, wife died. She couldn't bear that separation. Are how come he said, what is going to happen to me? With that mindset, it became so intense. She left. So we have to understand, we don't want to be hard hearted, we want to be soft hearted. In fact, we should be compassionate, not only for us but for others. Like Bhumi Devi we were talking about, she's compassionate. Are we direct children? Yes and no, actually, because she's our mother. There are three mothers, right? One who gives the birth, second is Bhumi Devi, and third is mother cow. That's why we never kill cow, because she is the mother. We don't kill the cow, we don't kill our mother, right? It's important that we need to imbibe the quality of compassion. So here, Arjuna is asking, and this is again talking about the very sweet relationship between Krishna and Arjuna, and Krishna is willing to take the role of servitorship. As a pure devotee of the Lord, who is pure devotee? Arjuna. What is the meaning of pure devotee? Let me explain you this. Who has no attachment to the material world does not mean he is hard hearted again. At the same time, he has all good spiritual qualities. So this word is very important, this line. A pure devotee, which means he is not bewildered. He is not affected by material condition. But hold on, we will see just few verses down. Arjuna is confused. What should I do? So is he a pure devotee? Or he is not a pure devotee? Because if he's a pure devotee, he should be crystal clear what has to be done. He should know Bhagavad Gita, and he should not just know, he has imbibed in his life. So let me tell you this thing. Arjuna is representing all of us. Every question he is asking on behalf of us. So it's not a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. This is a conversation between us and Krishna. That's the beautiful one. That this is Krishna telling to us, like, you have a son, Mataji, you have a daughter?
Both.
Both, okay. When your son get married, when the wife, now this used to be the old this thing, but may not be applicable in today's world, but let me spell this out. So when the new bridegroom comes to home, the mother of the son, right? What, mother-in-law, yes, sorry, I just sometimes forget the name. So mother-in-law wants to teach something to the new bridegroom. So she calls her daughter, come here. Don't you know how to cook this? When you cook this, you have to put the oil, you have to put mustard seed. Who was doing the cooking? Not the daughter. Who was doing the cooking? The bridegroom is doing the cooking. But whom she is saying this to? Her daughter. Why? Because that relationship is very tender. And I want to communicate the message. My daughter will understand because she is my daughter. And this relationship is still tender. Let me teach through her so that she understand, no, 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 she is not doing, I am doing, I should do it this way. That's how a mother-in-law has to teach to the bridegroom, right? Arjuna is like a bride. Arjuna is like the teacher of the mother, in this case, Krishna. And we are like new bridegrooms. And Krishna is telling through Arjuna, not that Arjuna is bewildered. So that's the most important aspect, because when we read from there, right? So a pure devotee of the Lord Arjuna had no desire, this is the second paragraph, to fight with his cousins and brothers, but he was forced to come into the battlefield by the obstinacy of Duryodhana, who was never agreeable to any peace negotiation. Therefore, he was very anxious to see who is leading persons present on battlefield were. That's it. So, with that, we will continue text 23 next week. Any questions or comments?
I have one comment.
Please.
So you were mentioning about one of the devotee
Mm.
who read Bhagavad Gita
Mm. Huh.
upside down,
Mm.
right, upside down. So what I heard is when Bhagavad Gita was written,
Mm.
they don't want to write it on the stones or
Huh.
books or
Huh.
leaves or
Huh.
anything.
Huh.
They actually have a village where half of the village reads Bhagavad Gita from start to end,
Huh.
and half of the village reads from
End to start.
end to the start.
Huh.
So that's how they protected Bhagavad Gita.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. My understanding is that when Krishna spoke this Bhagavad Gita, when all the scriptures were written, Vyas they told this to Ganesha, so he wrote that. That's my understanding as well. Ultimately, both the aspects are great because that is talking about the culture of this thing. So when I mentioned about this thing about Bhagavad Gita and this thing, everything was written in Sanskrit previously. There was no concept of English, Hindi, and all that stuff. So there are a lot of interpretation of Bhagavad Gita. So some of them are more material because they are just talking about how to live in this world. Krishna doesn't exist, Arjuna doesn't exist. They don't agree there is a Kurukshetra, which is still a place. You can still go there and see where Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. They decline all that stuff and they want to use Bhagavad Gita as a mechanism to speak about the philosophy. I gave an example about one of the teacher, the PhD teacher, in couple of weeks back. You remember, in Ohio University when my spiritual master went there. So this person is actually the dean of religiosity in the college. Do you remember that? Should I spell that out?
Yeah.
And he was telling, that my spiritual master wanted to preach there Bhagavad Gita, and he wanted to conduct the classes, and he said that the teachers there, or the deans, the lecturers, they said you need to get an approval from our dean, who's the religion. And he's a PhD in Bhagavad Gita and all that stuff. You remember that story? And they were having debating. Well, I don't believe God exists because I'm an atheist. So it's a very important thing to understand what is a right version and what to read and how to understand that stuff. Like, if one wants to learn drinking, he comes in association of drunkard. Same way when one wants to learn, sorry for this poor example.
No, that's
Uh,
good. Yeah.
yeah, and one who wants to learn Bhagavad Gita, he comes in association of people who really are addicted to Bhagavad Gita, who are living that life. And that's where I keep repeating that, because I one day maybe I'll become an example. I'm far away from that. Is what world need is not a philosophy, a character. That's what we need. And that's very important. And that's what we want to embody when we study Bhagavad Gita. So thank you for bringing
The
that up.
second point I
Hmm.
wanted to mention is many people, when we tell that we're learning Bhagavad Gita, going to the temple here, Krishna temple, everybody says that the only people who go there or who are here can actually deal with death easily compared to people who are not going. They say it's like
they're saying it's good. Like
Hmm.
if someone dies in a family, the people who come to this temple can actually deal with that easily compared to the outside people. That was a good
Because thank you for that feedback, bro. When Vyasdev wrote these four scriptures, you know what they deal with? You were mentioning about this four Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Sama Veda, and Yajurveda. They deal with four aspects: dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. So what is this? This is very important, and this is what we were kind of taught, or we were living our life based on coming from Indian background. What is dharma? You be religious. Being religious and being spiritual are two different terms, and you are clear on that part, right? Religious, I don't know why am I doing, but because I'm taught to do it, I'll do it. This is religious. Spirituality is you find out why am I doing that. So that's the first aspect, which is dharma. So you do dharma for what? If you if you believe in God, you do everything good, you get artha.